Hello boaters, welcome to Narrowboat Journeys. This is part 2 of the trip that I made on the 12th of February 2019, where I started at Claydon and I boated to Fenny Compton. So this is about halfway through the journey. We rejoined the trip and we're coming up to the Fenny Compton tunnel. I'm afraid you're in for a bit of a disappointment because there are no tunnels on the Oxford Canal, at least not these days, but there did used to be. This canal was constructed in the late 1700s and there did used to be a fairly long tunnel here at Fenny Compton. It was over 1,000 yards long, I forget the exact figure, but it was a very narrow tunnel. Only one boat could fit through, so two boats couldn't pass, and the boats had to be legged through, and this caused a huge backlog. It caused a real bottleneck in the canal, which was very busy back then. And so eventually they made the decision to open it all out and dig the tunnel away and just open it up and put passing places within. And we're just approaching the beginning of the tunnel now. Notice right now the canal's nice and wide and then it narrows down. When you move through this bit you can't pass any other boats, but it's only a short section that it's like this, and then it opens up a little bit. So this is all, and it's all lined with rock as well. Just a narrow little channel. This was all underground once upon a time. Okay, that's the first part nearly done. You'll notice the canal will widen a bit here. Now if you're boating these days you can pass boats on this next section, but it is a bit variable. There is vegetation across the canal and of course it does need dredging, but if you're careful you can pass boats here. But this was still originally the tunnel. So here we're travelling through a cutting. The towpath is on the right hand side, but it's not next to the canal as normal. It's sort of elevated and a bit further away from the water. And on the left hand side, on the other side of the embankment, we have a railway line, which is quite busy, but you can't really see it from the canal. we go under a busy road bridge, the A423. And the next bridge just up ahead there, it's a nice iron bridge. You'll notice the towpath changes sides. It goes from the right hand side over to the left. We're still in the tunnel as far as I know. As far as I know, this is about where the tunnel actually ended. Now we're back onto normal canal and we're nearly at Fenny Compton. On the left here is a marina and a boatyard where you can get all your usual supplies. So now we're in Fenny Compton. The village itself is about half a mile down the road, and you can get to it via footpath immediately to the left right now. Down between those buildings it leads down to the road. Fenny Compton is a small village. It's quite pretty. It's got a pub, it's got a small co-op store, and there's a post office which is just a bit like Cropredy really. It's like a temporary sort of pop-up post office which is open on, I think on Mondays, Wednesdays and Friday mornings, but only between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning, so you need to be well prepared to go there. On the left here we've got long-term CRT moorings, and after that it's 14-day visitor moorings. I'll show you when. The visitor moorings start about here, I think. Now just a bit further on, a bit further than I'm actually going today, there's also a pub called The Wharf, and that's very handy for boaters because it's right beside the canal. They've got a little shop in there and a laundrette as well that you can use. I've not actually been in there myself for many years, so I can't tell you a great deal about it, but it's just a little bit further up, just beyond where you can see now. I'll be covering that in the next video. Anyway, I decided to moor up here, so I hope you've enjoyed this little trip. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I shall see you next time when the journey will continue. Thanks for watching.